We're counting down and chowing down on our top 10 best Halloween Horror Nights 33 eats.
Let's see.
Hi everyone, I'm Jay.
And I'm Sam.
And you are watching The Theme Park Foodies, and we're of course back at Halloween Horror Nights for the completion of our HHN 33 trilogy. This is our first video. We went over a bunch of the new foods. Our second video went over our top 5 returning favorites, and this is going to be our last video on Halloween Horror Nights for this season, and it focuses on our top 10 favorite eats of them all. The new, the old, the returning, and there's even some things on this list that are new that we haven't tried yet on camera.
Yeah, they're very well received, so we felt like we had to put them on.
Yes. So there are a lot of things we're excited for. I'm sure you realize, so if you watched our other videos, some things that'll be on this list, but maybe you won't know where they're gonna land. We're also gonna see if they're consistent, because sometimes when you try out this food the first night, maybe they're on their game opening night, or maybe they're not on their game opening night, it could be better. So, you know, theme park food is inconsistent, so we're going to see if maybe some things are better, some things are not. I'm sure there's going to be some Ghostbusters food on this list, right, Sam?
I think so. I think there's a couple of marshmallow flavored items on this list. Maybe another corn dog.
And you can't go wrong with the classics, too.
Of course.
I think you guys know where we're going with that one. So we won't hold you up talking. You ready, Sam?
I'm ready.
All right, if you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Join us while we chow down on our top 10 favorite Halloween Horror Nights 33 eats. All right, so coming in at number 10 in the pouring rain, we're heading over to the Cary Drive-In. This is the Slaughter Cinema 2 booth. It's right outside the Swamp of the Undead. This is the Summer Camp Dog. Now, we tried this on our returning, this isn't a returning item, but we had it as like a notable mention in the returning because we never had this before. The reason this is on the list is they have a fried Nathan's hot dog in here. They also have beans, Cheetos, Tostitos cheese. I had to give them points for putting a Nathan hot dog in here. Nathan's hot dogs are probably my favorite kind of like a grocery store hot dog. We also had tons of Nathan's where we grew up in New York, so I had to put a Nathan's hot dog on this list. I had to give positive reinforcement to Universal. I also love this booth. It's so well themed. I'm sure we'll be back here later in the list. Probably already in the rain because we're filming everything at once. This is pretty good though. I got it without the pepper relish. There's usually a pepper relish on there that gives it a lot of spice. So I'm gonna try this out. I'm definitely gonna make a lot of a mess. There's a lot of beans.
Must be nice with the contrasting textures of the Cheetos and the beans.
That crunch definitely adds to it. To me, I like it better without the pepper relish. Everything's here spicy. They also have baked beans on top. When I was a kid, I used to put baked beans on my hot dog, so I like this. I'm gonna go 7. I think it's a good hot dog.
I feel like it's a common man eat.
I feel like this is like something I would make when I was a kid, so it feels like comfort food to me. Definitely not the most gourmet thing here, although I don't think that Universal went too gourmet, the Horror Nights food this year. I think this was a solid entry, and it meets the theme of the snack bar, the Slaughter Cinema, the snack bar. All right, we're going to New York, and we're keeping up with the hot dog theme here. Number 9 is Slimer's Korean Corn Dog, a new item for this season again. This is located in the Ghostbusters booth.
This is a Korean cheese dog with Fritos, coated with Cheetos powder, ghost pepper spice, sage derby cheese, and mozzarella.
A lot of spice. Obviously, it's HHN, so you got to test your gut.
My gut's been tested. I think after this, like, I have to lay off corn dogs for like at least a year. That's not even a joke.
They just opened up a corn dog booth at Disney. We have a video on.
The mint cheesecake dog didn't make the list. I think it was too controversial to make the list.
You liked that cheesecake.
I didn't hate it. Like I don't know. I kind of wanted to not like it. I wanted to be like, oh, this is gross. But I didn't mind it.
So the way this works is there is a layer of dog, a layer of cheese, and then there's a layer of dog. So like little mini hot dogs inside of this.
I'm really eating Fritos so far. Not complaining though. It's like a weapon.
You can see a little green Slimer in there. I've said before that I never really wanted to eat Slimer. I did want to eat the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, but not Slimer.
So the green is sage that's mixed in with the mozzarella. I wish it was more like the mozzarella was more stringy and pulley. Like when we had what was the dog last year? The cordyceps corn dog? I did a big cheese pull. I'll put that picture in. Like this, you don't get that cheese pull from it. The dog's okay. Really, for me, the star of this is the Fritos and the Cheetos. Like, they taste good with the batter and the dog. I'm gonna give this a 7.
7's good. So starting off with 2 hot dogs. All right, so number 8 is actually still in New York, but in a very quiet section. It is the booth that's themed like a quiet place. It's supposed
And why are you talking so loud?
because we're actually in Haagen-Dazs right now. But yes, you have to be quiet in here. They actually won't say anything. This is the wooden board eclair. As you can see, it has a little nail in it, and the area is kind of themed like it's a area you would get rations if you were in the quiet place area. You can see the monsters on the wall. You can see like the lists on the wall of like the things you're supposed to do to not get eaten or destroyed by these monsters. And of course, the joke on here is that if you stepped on this nail, that jelly would be blood, and this wooden board is actually chocolate. It's supposed to be ganache, I think it's dipped in as well. I've heard very positive things about this, and I'm very excited to try it.
Yeah, so we actually haven't tried this, but it came highly recommended, and we do, we trust other people's opinions as well. Like, we don't know everything.
We also had to, I feel like, put something from the Quiet Place on this list, considering their house has been a favorite this year.
The spicy chocolate cream, right?
Light hint of spice, and there's so much ganache in the center of it. It's like the right amount of spice. It's so good. Let's get to that jelly on top. Let me try the nail. I could do without the nail. I understand why they put it there, though. This is delicious. Definitely a highlight new item of the season. So happy we got to try it. I'm gonna give this an 8. There is a little spice in this, just so you guys know. I feel like spice is the flavor of HHN a lot of the time. And the top tastes like almost a darkish, I think it's a dark chocolate, and that ganache has such a great bitter flavor that contrasts the sweetness of the dish. So good. Just make sure you're quiet when you're in there. All right, so right outside Swamp of the Undead, you can find the Monstros booth, which is right next to Cafe La Bamba. And this is the Spinal Column Pinchos. What's exactly in this, Sam?
So it is a grilled chicken tender with a red chimichurri sauce, and your girl needs some protein.
Yeah, so we feel like we had to put some whole food type on here.
Yeah, whole foods are important.
They actually have nice seating over here.
There's a lot of chicken. Ooh, it's so spicy. The chimichurri is good. There's a lot of flavor in this. And I like, like a grilled chicken.
It's nice to not have fried food,
Yeah, no, this is a really good option. Like if you want real food, this is probably one of the most real foods on this list.
You can also see Swamp of the Undead as we're eating here. It's literally right there.
I'm gonna give this an 8. Like, I get this.
Wow, maybe we should have put it higher on the list. All right, so on the Portofino Bridge, which is the bridge right in between Simpsons Land and London, they have a booth themed to Goblin's Feast. This is the Goblin Pie. Do you know what's in this at all, Sam?
So it's like a baked apple pie, kind of in I think a cinnamon pastry, and it has bloody raspberry jam on top. And this is vegan, and it comes highly recommended from our friends Mitch and Devin.
This looks really good. So we got to put this at 6. I tried to break it in half with one hand. It didn't work. It's like a warm, crispy apple pie pocket. Look at those apples. A little bit of cinnamon on the top there. It's so crispy, and it's so juicy and gooey in the center. That's really good. Thank you so much, Mitch and Devin. This is great. I'm gonna give this an 8. Really good. Happy we went here. You always a line over here. So if you want this, I recommend trying to get here early. Or if you see there's not a line, jump on it. This is good.
They also have this is where you get the pumpkin guts. So this booth does have 2 vegan items.
Yes. All right, so in the middle of this list, we had to provide a notable mention. This will take us to the Blumhouse Scare Zone, right outside the Major Sweets Haunted House. They have a little Major Sweets booth. He's taken over the Streetcar Cafe over here, and he has this thing that actually is like our flavor profile exactly. This is the Cyclops Cup. It's a frozen peanut butter cup with an eyeball on top. It doesn't seem super frozen though, because as you can see, it breaks pretty easy. We're actually eating this at the Fanta bar. And we felt bad not putting this on this list, but we didn't know where it was gonna land. So I'm kind of putting this in the middle to see if this can kick some of the stuff off. Look at that nice goo in the center.
I used to like to put my Reese's peanut butter cups in the freezer.
All right, so not very frozen. That is a delicious peanut butter mousse.
That doesn't look frozen at all.
The chocolate is so thin, but it's the perfect amount that you want. It's basically a peanut butter mousse. This deserves to be on the list.
Ooh.
I'm gonna
redo the whole video. No.
I'm spiritually kicking off the hot dog we put at 10, the summer camp dog. in my spirit. And I'm putting this at like 7 or 8. This is good. Major Sweets knows what he's doing. This is so good. I mean, this is better than the board too. With the nail in it, Quiet Place board. I give this a 9. Wow. I'm rethinking our entire list. I know I can, we already locked it in. But this is why we do stuff like this. This is why we do the notable mentions. We haven't had this yet. So good. If you are a fan of peanut butter mousse and chocolate, highly recommend. All right, so you know these had to be somewhere on this list. Number 5, it takes us to Louis, but you can also get these at the new DreamWorks Animation Cafe, the formerly Kid Zone area. They are the classic HHN staple that people go crazy for every single year. These are the pizza fries. Frozen crinkle cut fries fried with mozzarella cheese, sauce, pepperoni. It's a classic staple. It's drunk food, and they're middle of the road, so they are number 5.
It is like a canned marinara, but I do appreciate they do put like some pizza seasoning on top. This looks like a pretty good iteration. And you can eat it indoors, which is always nice. As I've gotten older, I really appreciate sitting down. Like, sitting down feels so good.
Sometimes I get a nice cheese pull on these.
Got a little pull. They're hitting the spot.
They've been made good every time we've gotten them this year. Sometimes like they're hit or miss, depending on who's making them, but every time we've gotten the pizza fries this season so far, they've been on point.
Do you remember the Reuben fries?
Yes.
Those were really good.
Remember the s'mores fries?
S'mores, those are banging. I don't know why they stopped doing that. But
This would have been a list of fries if they still had those two.
8.
Yeah, we're getting good iterations this year. I almost feel like we should have put this higher because they're classic, but I think the top 5 kind of hits.
Like the middle of the list is the perfect spot.
All right, number 4 is a new item. It takes us over to the Twilight Tavern, which is right near the Ghostbusters booth. I had this on the opening day video that we did, and I raved about them because they tasted so hot and fresh. Actually, I watched them fresh Fridays before I grabbed them. They are the In the Fog fish and chips. They are crispy. They actually come with an aioli. Usually they just come with tartar sauce. Obviously they have some chips as well, and they also have a little lemon. Oh, it's slipping out of my hands right here. These do feel greasier than the last iteration that I got. I also want to bring up to you guys, I got a haircut during this video. We filmed it over 2 days, so that's why I look a little different. Wardrobe change. Sporting Oddfellow today. I was sporting Pumpkin Lord the other day. Let's try the fish and chips out.
I'm interested, are these better than the Harry Potter fish and chips?
To me, yes. These are so much fresher, it feels like. I watched them fry these. There's so much heat on them, and the fish is so flaky. You're getting no fishy taste from this. If you get an iteration like what I'm keep getting every time I go there, these are great. I'm gonna go 9. No, I'm gonna go 8. I'm gonna go 8 with these. They're very good. Obviously, fish and chips from Rose and Crown over in Walt Disney World Epcot is better, but this is really good. They're fresh made. The chips are like nice and thick as well. Just delicious. And we also want to give a notable mention to another item you can get over at the tavern. All right, so you can also find this at Twilight Tavern. It is the Bride's Cake. To us, this tasted like they took a rainbow cookie and turned it into a cake. It seems a little bit more flaky than the last one we got, though, right, Sam?
Yeah, there's raspberry jam in the center of it.
This isn't on the list because we couldn't fit everything on here. We didn't want to put everything from Twilight Tavern, but we thought this was so good we had to let you guys know about it. Look at that jam.
The jam is so good. And it legitimately, to me, tastes exactly like a rainbow cookie because it has that hard chocolate coating. The jam is so good. I'm gonna give this a 9.
Yeah, high numbers for Twilight Tavern. I hope they keep both these items in future years. All right, so coming in at number 3, we are back in the New York section right outside that little Renaissance torture fair. This is the Ghostbusters booth. Yet again, to me, it's the best item they have there. Sam already cracked the top of the graham cracker.
He's a chubby boy, and he's sliding off of his bed of graham.
It's the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man Smore. They take a blowtorch to these things.
Yeah, I do see though, like this was made fresh, but I've seen some nights where they're just mass producing them and leaving them out, so people are getting served cold ones, which I think is whack. Like, Your s'mores needs to be hot, so thankfully.
That's whack.
Yeah. Do people still, I shouldn't have, I'm aging myself.
I'm with you.
I don't even, like, I just pulled that word out of my brain. Like, I didn't even remember that word.
The thing about this item is that it is style, but also substance. It tastes great. It looks great. It's themed like HHN.
He almost tastes more like fluff. He's so soft. He's definitely been like the star of the show. I'm gonna give him a 9. I love him.
Yeah, I feel like
I love him.
if he's going to be number 3, he has to hit a higher number. And to me, honestly, as far as the new stuff goes, this has been a highlight this season. Now, before we get to number 1, we had to give one last notable mention. We saw our friends Princess and the Bear while we were here, and they let us know about these awesome terror Minion Tots.
Evil Minion Tachos.
Evil Minion Tachos. And they look at them, they're in a pool of cheese. Sam, what's exactly on this and in this?
So these are crispy Minion Tots, relaxing in their pimento cheese sauce tot tub with crispy pork belly, jalapeno relish, tomatoes, and ranch.
He's bathing. All right. So this is the jalapeno relish. I'm going to take a little bit of that off. Oh, here's the pork belly. Nice thick pork belly. Look how cheesy that is.
I mean, we love Minion Tots in general, so I have high hopes.
We have so many notable mentions on this list because we just couldn't put everything in the 10. The thing about the Minion Tot that makes it the superior tot is how crispy it is on the outside. So crispy. They absorb the cheese well. Then you have this pork belly. Really more like bacon, not very juicy, but it has a good savory hit as you bite it. Great. I'm biased because I love Evil Minions. I love Minion Tots. I'm gonna go 8. This is so good. I almost feel like the hot dogs can go off and we can put a few of these notable mentions on. So much great stuff at Horror Nights. It was delicious. All right, so our number 2 item takes us to the tribute store this year, which is found in New York. It is being haunted by an evil bat idol. And in that case, where you could find all those sweet treats, was our number 1 returning treat for HHN. And you know it had to be somewhere on this list, so it's our number 2. It is the Ghost S'more. How can you say no to this guy? I also think we're just suckers for ganache, and it has good chocolate ganache in it. So,
controversial opinion. Ghost S'more is better than Stay Puft.
yeah.
And I love Stay Puft. I just, the chocolate in this s'more is better. I also think this one is less messy to eat. And it's easier to get. Ghostbusters has a really long line.
He's just got a great head of hair, you know?
Also, the price on the board, I noticed this last time, says $7, and I was like, oh wow, that's expensive. It's not. It's like $4.50.
I love the ganache. It's dark. The marshmallow contrasts it well. And it's more of a marshmallow fluff than it is like traditional marshmallow, which I think goes well with the ganache. And you got the graham cracker right there.
And the graham is very buttery. Like the graham cracker that's on the Stay Puft, like it's just like a very standard, like a Nabisco graham cracker. But that one is a very traditional s'mores, the Stay Puft, like with the Hershey's chocolate.
Yeah, this is good. I'm gonna go 10 with this. I really like it. I think I went 9 the last time. I'm willing to go 10. I like getting them every time that I'm here. Awesome thing. And I think we really highlighted so many great foods that you can have here for these 3 videos. I hope the trilogy does well. I hope they do well. Even if they don't, I hope you guys learned something from this and enjoyed watching this, because this is really good. All right, drum roll, please. Number 1 on our list takes us back to the Cary Drive-In. We started here, we're ending here. It is the returning walking taco, and we're putting this on here because the one that we had in our returning favorites list was so good. It's honestly our favorite thing that we've had this entire season.
And I feel like this one looks even better than that one. It's pretty packed out. Like this bag is filled. And also, just spoiler alert or warning, we really like Doritos. So I feel like that kind of played into this being number 1.
MSG just makes things taste better.
And I like to crunch up my Doritos.
It's good to crunch these up.
This one has so much more than the one that I had the other day. Like, talk about inconsistency, because like I can't crunch it without everything falling out of the bag, which is not what happened to me the other day. And you can customize it. Like if you don't want sour cream or cheese or whatever, they will meet your requests. There's also salsa in it and a lot of shredded beef.
It feels like junk food, but also like real food at the same time.
Yes, it's like a really good mix. The sauce is a little spicy, but the sour cream cools it down. There's so much in here. The meat is tender and flavorful. I love this. If they did a Cool Ranch version, like I would be going 10, so I'm gonna go 9. But I think this is a great snack, and like if I want to go walk into a scare zone, I guess would take my Doritos walking taco with me.
I wouldn't recommend it right now in the rain, though. All right, so I have to have the number 1 too. We usually both try the number 1. One goes even, one goes odd, but when it's number 1, we both have to try it out.
I wonder if this is like a controversial take that we're putting this at number 1. It's literally a bag of Doritos.
I will say, last time we had more meat. This is just more Doritos.
I think the meat's under all those Doritos.
There is meat. This is good though. That's the thing is like, Doritos are a great carb to add to things, because the MSG is just, it makes everything pop. And the meat in here is good. It's nice in that Doritos crust. The sour cream, obviously nacho cheese flavored Doritos makes sense to have them with sour cream. It's really good. The thing about this list is, and when we were breaking this down, I do feel like previous iterations of HHN had some higher quality food, like the Fedra raviolis, or like, I feel like this year they went straight like, okay, this is bar food. And I'm fine with that because that's kind of like what HHN is. I will admit, this isn't the highest quality option. I think the iteration we had previously was really good. I'm a bigger fan of the nacho cheese, and you are a bigger fan of the Cool Ranch. They're both really good though. I'm gonna go 8. Didn't hit as hard as the first one that we had in the returning video, but this thing still hits. And if you want something that's filling, it's good. It's a good portion size, it's shareable. You can walk around with it. It's classic HHN food. I think that's why it's our number 1. All right, so that does it for our top 10 best Halloween Horror Nights 33 Eats Crawl. I will say I don't think the walking taco deserved number 1, at least not on this crawl.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. We really fumbled not putting the Minion Tots on this list. Like, we didn't film this in order, but that was one of the last things we had, and after I tried it, I was ready to like redo this whole video.
Hi, how you doing? Hello. I would say we could knock off the hot dogs and put on the Minion Tots, as well as that Cyclops Cup. The Cyclops Cup was so good. That's probably one of my, I want to get that again. I might go get it right now after we get it off. It was delicious. It was like a peanut butter mousse. It was a very light chocolate shell, so the chocolate didn't overpower the flavor. That was really good. Some of those notable mentions definitely deserve to be on the list, but we hadn't tried them yet, which is why we had them in this video. Also, the walking taco wasn't consistent. Obviously, there was someone behind it that was making some great walking tacos, and we had them on the returning call.
I still do really like the walking taco, though.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely deserves to be on the list, but 1 is questionable.
Yes, at this point, after this crawl. So like you guys can see, there are some inconsistent eats here. However, there were some things that landed. The pizza fries this year have been consistent. That number 5 could have been maybe pushed up. They were really good, right?
They were.
Louis is doing it right.
Ghost S'more? He's a loyal little guy. He always tastes the same.
He's high up on the list because he's in that case, you know he's going to be the same thing every time. That's what's hard about these things. Sometimes they're not the same every time. That Ghost S'more is the same every time. We had a lot of fun filming this. We hope that you guys got a little bit out of this video. And if you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Liking will really help our channel grow. It pushes this video out into the stratosphere of the YouTube algorithm. It helps people find the video. Subscribing. It also helps our channel grow. Hit the bell notification so that way you're notified every time when videos come out, which is when, Sam?
Every Monday and Thursday at 12 p.m.
Thanks so much for watching. Don't count the days. We will see you next time. That's all, folks. So a little insight for those that don't do YouTube, which I'm assuming is most of you guys. YouTube will rank your videos 1 out of 10 when you release them. And our first Horror Nights video actually was 10 out of 10. So we were a little let down. We still trekked on to put these videos out for you guys, and we hope that those that watched did enjoy them, because we really enjoy making these videos, which is why we're just going to keep doing them. But it's kind of like when YouTube says 10 out of 10, it's like, hey, don't do this type of content. Yeah. But we're still going to do it.
It is a little discouraging. Like, I'm not going to lie, I felt like a kick in the gut.
Yeah.
That day.
We stood up all night to get that one out. But there are a lot of videos on it, and a lot of great videos from very talented creators.
Yeah, and the people who did comment, like, thank you, because, like, we needed that.
Yeah. And the people you see scrolling up on the screen, those are our members. You too can become a member for as low as $1.99 a month if you're interested. We have tiers with differing perks like early access to videos and end credits credentials. If you have any interest in membership, you can check out the join button below. We appreciate all of you who like, comment, subscribe. It helps push this video out into the YouTube algorithm. It helps us make more of them, so we appreciate you all. Happy Horror Nights.